Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Tool Man. Now, I just wouldn't be a typical Minnesotan if I didn't want to talk about the weather. So we dropped below zero last night, and according to the forecast, we won't see above zero again until sometime tomorrow afternoon. But that really doesn't matter because I'm headed down to the shop, and we're going to continue work on that cab. So stick around. I said I was just going to be working on the structural stuff and leave the outside to the body guy, and I just couldn't resist jumping in and looking at these rockers. I'll show you a picture of what these rockers, let's see if I can get a good angle on this, what they looked like for starters. This one was all bent, and so I was able to get behind that and straighten it out. And then I stripped it just to see. There's a lot of low spots in here. But at least I was able to get this rocker back looking fairly straight. Okay, it's a couple days later, and I just want to show you this. That's the outside temperature. And I didn't know if we'd get one of these, but I've been just hoping we would have a day like this, and I'm not going to waste the opportunity. 3 days ago, it was close to 20 below on Saturday morning. It's Tuesday right now, and we've got 45 and sunny. So I'm going to get out the power washer, and I'm going to hit this cab hard. Back inside, got most of the water out. We can let it drip dry in here now where it's warm. And I'm sure glad I took that opportunity. It's nice and clean, or as clean as it can be right now. And the bonus there is managed to get a little bit of paint off the roof there. I think that's primer. But it's looking pretty good. I can keep going on that now. Well, gang, it's a beautiful day. I've been waiting for a day like this to get back out here to French Lake Auto and pick up a few parts for this project. That truck right there is the parts truck I brought in, and I'm actually thinking I may be pulling some parts off of it. Back in October, I loaded this thing up on the trailer and brought it out to French Lake, knowing that they were going to put it out in their boneyard for people to pick from. So let's see what they got. All right, here's one of the parts I need, is this back wall brace. This is the only one out here, and it's not in the best shape. It's kind of bent from when that cab got bashed in back there, but I'm going to grab it and I'll have to straighten it out. All right, we got one little problem here. I've got an e-brake connector bolt that I need. It's probably somewhere underneath this part of the bed. I can't get underneath from the side. I can't get in from the rear because this thing's sitting right down on the ground and is buried in snow. But I really need that part. This is the only one I can think of that's available. So here's my plan. I'm going to take one for the team here and crawl in. There's no grill on this truck. I'm going to crawl in, get on my back, and scoot back there and see if I can get it out. I just got to make sure I grab every wrench I think I'm going to need, because I do not want to go in and out of here more than once. And this is the score from French Lake Auto. So we got this back cab support. It's a little bent up. I can straighten that out. We're going to use that. That one came out of my parts truck. And then we've got this e-brake assembly, so I can clean that up and we can use that. We needed most of those parts. And then the bonus in here is I started whining to the guy at the counter about really feeling bad about leaving the grill behind, because I really could have used that grill now. And he made a sweet deal on the grill, so I grabbed the grill as well. And the tidbit on this one, though, is that this is not the grill that came on that parts truck originally. This is a grill, so we can spin around here, that was originally on this truck. I took the best of the two, which was the parts truck. So this one definitely needs some work, but it's still in a lot better shape than the one Len has. A lot less body damage. His is all kind of pushed in way down low here, which is really tough to fix. So I thought I'm going to grab this one and see if this one might be a better choice for us. Okay, I'm going to use my screw press here to take that little dent out, or that little bend out of this cab bracket. I'm going to overextend it just a hair because it's going to spring back. All right, let's see how we did. Let's see if we got it flat. I'll just throw a level on there. And I don't see any gaps in here. I think this actually is going to work just fine. We'll flip it around. Yeah, I think that looks all right. Now, I just need to hammer this down a little bit since it was bent up, and then we'll have it. All right, that'll do it. All right, I'm going to clean this up before we finish the job completely, but for now I want to get this back in while we do the rest of the cab work to just support it. And one of the things to keep in mind is that these also have this little, it's like a piece of fiberboard, and it's an anti-rattle thing. So just make sure you put that back in, and if you don't have one, you have to make something up here. It looks like it sticks about 3/8 of an inch past the edge here. Okay, so that upper one was already there, but now we've got the lower cab brace in, and that should be good for now. Okay, let's start working on the driver's side rocker. Now you notice it's pretty straight right here, and it's kind of subtle, but in person it's pretty dramatic. You can see it starts to roll under about halfway down, and it continues all the way down to the bottom here, or the corner. So what I want to do is push that back out, try to straighten it out as much as I can. So I got a few different blocks of wood that I want to use to get in behind this and drive it out. I can start with a fairly wide one, less likely to concentrate it too much in one area. And I'll kind of work my way down as I need to when I get into some of these areas. Okay, that was literally 4 hits on this. And you can see already that pretty much we're almost there up in this area now. Maybe just a little bit of work. And then down here, we're still tucked under. And you can see this metal is actually kind of wrinkled. So I know that's part of where it probably took the hit. Oops, right there, took the hit to begin with. So we'll keep working on it and see if we can get it straight. All right, we're just kicked out a little bit right there. I should be able to tap it back in now. That's pretty good. Now let's just flatten this right here. Let's take a quick look at it now. I think that's where we want it. I'd call that straight enough right there. Next thing I want to take a look at is this little, I'll call it the rocker extension that goes into the cab. It's in the right place way out here, but as it comes in here, it kicks in. It's probably in a little more than 1/4 inch. I need to drive that out, and that's going to be a little tricky. Let me show you. You can get a better angle on this. There, you can see where it's rolled in. It's rolled in right here, and this little brace underneath looks like it's actually, this got pushed in and then this got bent down. So maybe I'll get in with a pry bar, try to kick that out. And after that, I've got a brass punch, and I'll see if I can bring that in through this channel and try to drive that a little bit too. I'm going to start on a pretty primitive tool. It's just a good sized pry bar, but I think it'll spread the force over a wider area. All right, we got it a lot closer. This seam right here is actually pretty much where it needs to be. This should be pushed out right in the center there. So something kind of took the crown out of it. It should be just a little bit convex and it's concave right now. So let me see what I can do about that. There. I think we got it. All right, let's take a run down this rocker right to the corner now. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's actually out. It's a little bumpy in here, so I need to do a little more real light tapping on here to flatten it out there just a hair. It's up a little high right here, but I think it looks pretty good. I think this is going to work. So this is the first of the welding repairs I want to do on the cab. I guess start with this cab mount. I'm going to pull this off so we can get a better look at it. All right. So this cab mount is made up of 3 layers. Bottom layer goes up into the underside of the floor there. That actually looks kind of okay. I think I want to look at the other side and compare things. Then the next layer is this little piece that wraps around, comes underneath, and all the way over to here. And this one looks like it's all been cut away. So we got to do that piece. And then finally, we got this last one that comes in and lays over the top of all of this. Let's take a look at the other side and just compare those. All right. So again, this bottom piece, it looks like it goes, here, we're over on this side. Looks like it goes all the way underneath to about there. So I think I'll have to repair maybe a portion of that. And then this one right here loops around underneath. And then finally this piece loops around over the top. So we're at 3 layers right there. Okay, I want to brace this up a little bit, get it off of here so I can get underneath all of this. Now take a look at this when I lift it up. You see that move? That's why we need to brace that thing. There's just not a lot of strength there. Let's see, do we have enough space there now? No, that's good. We'll get this on both sides. I think I want a little more. It looks like it's just not enough. Throw another block in here. That should do it. All right, that's good. Try to show you something here. This is supposed to run flat the whole way. And starting about here, it starts to curve up, and that's not how it's supposed to look. Let me show you a good side here. Okay, this one runs flat all the way across here. There's no curve to it. So before we do anything else, I need to bend this back down. Okay. The crescent wrench always makes a really good bending tool. Whoop. Okay, we started that and it kicked out down here. This piece is a little on the weak side. I think what I want to do is probably flatten that out again. Kind of work both of these until it's where I want it. Okay, there's a little more going on here than I thought. Try to give you a good shot of this. Let's see here. This piece goes all the way around. It's supposed to wrap under and kick back down. It's actually kind of peeled out starting here, up around, and then it's kind of missing from here. And even up here where it's welded, it's cracked away there. I don't know. I think this is all damage from snow plowing. This thing must have just took a beating. I can see it in the firewall and a bunch of different places. So now at least I know what I have to fix. I could try to piece this together and save what's good, but I think it's probably better just to come back here and just cut all of that off and make a new piece to weld in. Then I've just got one weld to run there and then to tack it back in here. I'm going to use a Sawzall to get a straight cut through here rather than trying to use a grinding wheel. Everybody plug your ears. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try to get this weld out with the Sawzall too. We'll give it a shot. All right, I think that was the right thing to do. This thing was so mangled and rusty. I mean, it's full thickness, but this would have been a lot of screwing around to try to get it right. Now I can just put a whole new piece in right there. Okay, instead of using that cardboard template that I made, I just decided to flatten this out. I know this will be the exact size I need. And now I can cut this out of some metal. And as is typical in a Toolman video, just using scrap that I hang on to. So I put that on there, traced it. I just need to cut this out now and then bend it back into shape. Okay, there's my metal that I cut out. Now, first thing I'm going to do is put this bend in, and I got to remember how it goes so I don't bend it the wrong way. But this one being on the passenger side, this is going to flip up, and this little piece needs to curl down. So I've marked kind of the beginning and end of these curves so I can get it in the vise, probably somewhere in between these two, and see if I can bend it to a 90. I think that'll do it. A little help here. Okay, went a little bit over. Just bring it back up. Tweak it as we go. All right, here we go with take two. I had it this way, I had it 90 degrees out, so I had to flatten that out and start over. Now I know it rolls up here and down here. So I remarked it. Okay, that looks good. I'll bend it again. I'm going to stop there, go take a quick check on it, and what I think I'm going to do, the edge of my workbench has got a nice roll. I think I'll finish it out there. Just checked it, and it's not quite 90. I'm really close even here. I think I need a little more than that. I think that's going to do it. I got a piece of pipe for this other bend that's roughly the radius that I'm looking for. I marked the center line, and I think what I'll do is I'll start by just bending about halfway on this side, then we'll flip it over. We'll try and see if we can do the other side. Okay, I think we're about halfway there on that one. This one might be a little trickier. We'll see how this goes. I think I'm going to need a little help on this one. I'm going to stop there and see how I'm doing. Got a nice curve in there. Who knows if it's in the right place? Okay, that was really close. I just need to go a hair more on this. Okay, that's going to be it. Let's walk it over and see how the fit looks. I'll do my best to show you our fit on this. There we go. It's going to go in just like that. I think we're looking pretty good right there. I don't know if I'm low. I'll have to put a straight edge here. Oops, get it like that. I'll put a straight edge here to make sure this thing isn't hanging down, but I think we got it. All right, that repair is done. So we've got the bottom layer in, this middle layer that comes through here underneath and around here, and then finally this top layer. I was looking at this, and it's almost like when they put this together was sort of an origami thing where each of these had to kind of come in from a different angle. So I kind of understand why there's 3 layers here. But it's good and strong. I've got it plug welded back into this brace. And I think we're done with this one now. I just need to get a little primer on it so it doesn't start rusting. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap things up here by doing a little bit of work on the firewall. I don't think I'm going to do a lot of welding, but I think I'm just going to try to hammer out some things that are messed up, flatten them out, and prep them for welding. I'd like to do more, but I want to keep these videos coming out about every couple of weeks just to show you the progress here. So let's keep going on this. Let's start with this seam here that's bent way down. I first have to just get it a little bit away from the body. I'll just use a pry bar to start. There. And now I think I'll try to use one of these duckbill vice grips here to get a good grip on this and see if I can bend it back up. It's getting there. Go. Getting close. I just need to flatten it out a little bit now, get it evened out. So like what I'll do is raise it up a little bit high and then hammer it back down. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So still got a little more here and over here to do. Okay, let's deal with this one next. This one looks like I don't know, a big old slug came through here or something. In the end, this is not a factory hole. This is going to be welded up completely, but I want to try to bend some of this metal back around and see if I can flatten it out a little bit. Well, we reduced it down to a much smaller hole. I'll probably still be welding around here. All that, or I don't know, maybe it makes more sense just to cut it out and weld a patch in there because it's still really wrinkled and lumpy, and yeah, that might be a better way to go. I'm also looking here, I've got a crack that runs all the way down around here. So I don't really know for sure what I want to do. Maybe I come over here and just cut. I don't know where to stop. Let me think about this one a little bit. So the more I look at this whole section in here, let's just look at this. That whole piece is gone, even, or it's pushed, it's not even connected all the way back behind this battery box strengthening plate and all the way down to here. So I'm thinking maybe what I should do is just cut all of this stuff out and just do one piece in here. I can easily put that bend back in, maybe even come up this high and include this piece. I think that's probably the best way to attack that one. One thing I want to do though, before I do that, this is a factory hole. This is where one of the pipes for the heater core go. There's one here and there's another one up there. So I think what I'll do is maybe just make a little guide here, just run it across there and locate this so that I can recreate that hole. So I put some cardboard on here, and then I drilled through a couple of locating holes from the back, and then I marked where that hole was for the heater core. I can set this aside and I can bring it back in so I'll know where to put that. So I'll show you what I did here. I just shot some paint over that. So this should give me a good way to recreate this hole in the right place. Last thing I'm going to do now is get this boogered up upper fender mount off of here. I can easily relocate this based on the other side. Okay, that's what we're going for. And I'm going to start cutting away some of these welds until I can break this thing free. All right, we got that off of there. That thing was welded in pretty ugly. And as you can see, there's a hole right here in the firewall. And then there's a metal plate welded to the back of that. If you look up in here, you can see that plate. It's a pretty good size. There it is right there. Pretty good size plate. I think I'm probably going to leave that plate right on there. And then we'll see about maybe putting a patch in here so at least it looks good from the firewall side. I think that's going to be it for the firewall repairs in this episode. There's still a lot to do. And I'll just keep moving on this and keep you guys updated as I do the work. I want to thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you next time.